Yeah, it don't feel good. Hold her accountable. Keep doing that. Hold her accountable. Y'all, watch this. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel Modern Renaissance Man. I'm Ty Smith. I appreciate you guys taking time out of your day to view my content. Make sure that if you have been enjoying the content and you want to see more of it, to hit the thumbs up button. That way it can be consistently recommended to you. Also, follow me on all the platforms you see above and below. Did I already say that? I don't know. Double check and make sure that you still are subscribed to the channel. And let's get ready to get into this. So, folks, as you guys know, Kamala Harris braved the storm. Yeah, right. To go on Fox News to get interviewed. And we're getting ready to see this in real time because some of my subscribers, y'all reached out. Go to the part time where she's talking about the southern border and do a live reaction to it. Please, please, please. You know, so because, you know, sometimes I just show you guys the clip and then I'll analyze. But you guys want me to go through it, I will go through it. For some of you that do not like that I'm going to pause, I recommend you not watch this right now. Why would you recommend somebody not watch the video? I'd rather you go and watch this on your own in its entirety than you sitting on here in the comment section crying about how I keep pausing it and talking. You come to a podcast to hear me talk, to not hear me talk. So yeah, some of you, I know y'all got pissed off because some of y'all left in the comment section said you talk too much and I told you you listen too much. Yeah, I'm not the one. I'll fire right back at you. Anyway, so Kamala Harris is getting ready to be questioned. The question is going to be asked to her about the border, and we're getting ready to go through it in real time with each other, okay? Let's get ready to get into it. Here we go.
Administration has released into the country over the last 3.5 years.
Well, I'm glad you raised the issue of immigration because I agree with you. It is a topic of discussion that people want to rightly have.
She agreed. It is a subject that of a conversation that people want to have. Who's the reason for that?
And you know what I'm going to talk about.
Yeah, but
right
do you
now,
just a number? Do you think it's 1 million, 3 million?
Brett, let's just get to the point. Okay, the point is that we have a broken immigration system that needs to be repaired.
So your Homeland Security Secretary said that 85% of apprehensions.
I'm not finished. We have a.
Uh-oh, I'm not finished. I'm not finished. She couldn't give him a number? She couldn't give him a number. See, I know they got a thing saying women have a hard time being accountable, but, you know, I know other politicians would do this as well, other men. She can't give him a number? Y'all, did she hit him with, I'm not finished?
Well, we have
it's a rough estimate of 6 million people have been released into the country. And let me just finish. I'll get to the question, I promise you.
I was beginning to answer.
And
thank you. He was, I don't know if he's doing this, but I'm glad he did that because no, you were about the word salad. We know it. He doesn't like salad. He's a meat and potato type of guy.
When you came into office, your administration immediately reversed a number of Trump border policies. Most significantly, the policy that required illegal immigrants to be detained through deportation, either in the U.S. or in Mexico. And you switched that policy. They were released from custody awaiting trial. So instead, included in those were a large number of single men, adult men, who went on to commit heinous crimes. So, looking back, do you regret the decision to terminate Remain in Mexico at the beginning of your administration?
At the beginning of our administration, within practically hours of taking the oath, the first bill that we offered Congress before we worked on infrastructure, before the Inflation Reduction Act, before the CHIPS and Science Act, before the bipartisan Safer Communities Act, the first bill, practically within hours of taking the oath, was a bill to fix our immigration system.
Yes, ma'am. It was called the U.S. Citizenship Act of 2021.
Exactly.
It was essentially a pathway to citizenship for the elite. Yes, ma'am.
May I finish responding, please? But you have to let me finish,
You
please.
had the White House and the House and the Senate,
and they didn't bring up that bill. I'm in the middle of responding to the point you're raising, and I'd like to finish.
Yes, ma'am.
Where's Sally?
Extremists want to ban abortions with no exception for rape or incest.
Oh, man, okay, so while this commercial is playing right here, I don't want to hear it. You see that she is getting a little frustrated here, ladies and gentlemen. And make sure you guys are hitting this like button right now if you're just now joining in. But, you know, now let's be honest. I think, in my opinion, y'all may not agree with this. It's another commercial here. I would want her to answer it, but I just think that at this point, he's doing something right now that I think all of us would most likely agree to, and that is we know that she's getting ready to say a whole bunch of bull crap. So just get to it. I'm in the middle of answering. No, you're not. You're going to just throw word salad without, I don't even know if you even answered anything. You can't say I'm in the middle of answering something when we haven't even seen you answer anything. Well, it's because you keep talking over and not letting her talk. No, it's because she doesn't answer. So let's see what happens.
I'd like to finish.
Yes, ma'am.
We recognized from day one that, to the point of this being your first question, it is a priority for us as a nation and for the American people. And our focus has been on fixing a problem. And from day one, then, we have done a number of things, including to address our asylum system and put more resources, getting more judges, what we needed to do to tighten up penalties and increase penalties for illegal crossings, what we needed to do to deal with point resources, getting more judges, what we needed to do to tighten up penalties and increase penalties for illegal crossings, what we needed to do.
Increase penalties for illegal crossings. See, this is what I'm saying. Why not just send them back? Oh, you cross over, let's penalize you. You're going to get 6 to 8 months in one of our jails and you're going to be properly processed. Or better yet, when you come over, instead of you getting in and getting processed and released, you got to come back instead of the typical 6 months we give you. You got to come back in 3 months. And what does that mean? How about the penalty be as soon as they come over, take your aid back on over across the border? That's it right there.
To deal with points of entry between border.
Where you didn't go and visit?
Entry points. That's the work we did. And we worked on supporting what was a bipartisan effort, including some of the most conservative members of the United States Congress.
Okay. So what she's saying, ladies and gentlemen, you know how they say build back better? Joe Biden and them got rid of everything that Trump had in place when it came to the immigration policy. And then they want to try to turn around and say, hey, now this is what we're trying to offer y'all. So y'all, listen to me when I tell you this, because I told you I'm learning this stuff. I'm trying to give y'all an analogy. Okay, I have something that's in place that's working. I have a dam, like, a dam that holds back water. What do you think would happen if I'm holding back all that water in this dam, and now I get in there and I write an executive order to open the dam up and just let everything behind there flush on in? Let it flow on in. Open the dam up, let all the water come in. And while the water is flowing in, I'm up here saying, now look, we need to make a deal, Republicans and Democrats, on how we going to address the dam that I just opened up. Because what it does, they introduce other things into those bills that ends up benefiting a lot of these crooked politicians, be it those on the right or the left. They throw extra things in there. They don't make it just about that wall. Like Trump said, you don't need an act of Congress to close the dam back up to keep the water from flowing in. Put back the policy that I had in place that kept it doing good. But oh no, if y'all, what we getting out of this is what it's pretty much saying. Yeah, I might say it in a layman's term, but my understanding of this is very keen, ladies and gentlemen. That's what they did here. It wasn't about just, well, we worked on it from day one. How do you work on it from day one? And you're the reason why the floodgates open.
To actually strengthen the border. That border bill would have put 1,500 more border agents at the border, which is why I believe the Border Patrol agents supported the bill.
I know I'm pausing. I don't care. Get pissed. Notice how she said that bill included putting 1,500 more border people there. That gives you the notion like, ooh, they were getting ready to create some more jobs. No. Notice what I said. They opened the floodgates to the dam. So all that water coming in, of course you're going to need more people to go down there because it's never been done like that before. Not to this extent. So of course you're going to need more workers there to go and try to help close the dam back up and keep the flood from coming in. Easy. Moving on.
It would have allowed us to stem the flow of fentanyl coming into the United States, which is a scourge affecting people of every background, every geographic location in our country, killing people.
It wouldn't happen if
it
y'all
would have
wouldn't
allowed us
open
to put more resources into prosecuting transnational criminal organizations, which I have done as the Attorney General, former Attorney General of a border state.
Madam Vice President, a couple of things.
Prosecuted trafficking of drugs, guns, and human beings. And Donald Trump, but let me just finish.
6 Democrats voted against that bill.
Learned about that bill and told them to kill it because he preferred to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem. And in this election, this is rightly a discussion that the American people want to have. And what they want are solutions, and they want a president of the United States who's not playing political games with the issue.
I hear you.
But actually is focused on fixing it.
6 Democrats voted against that bill. It would have allowed 1.8 million illegal immigrants into the country a year. A lot of conservatives had a problem with it. These are the 6 Democrats. But more importantly, back to the original premise, Jocelyn Nungari, Rachel Morin, Laken Riley, they are young women who were brutally assaulted and killed by some of the men who were released at the beginning of the administration, well before a negotiated bipartisan bill. Former President Clinton actually referred to Laken Riley Sunday, campaigning for you in Georgia, saying if those men had been properly vetted, Laken Riley probably would not have been killed. So
I want y'all to pay attention to something. She just did all that bragging about prosecuting people that was doing sex trafficking, criminals, bringing these drugs into our country. Do y'all know what about those guys that killed those women? What about them? What about some of them that actually, don't forget about the ones that attacked the cops in New York and got let right back out of jail. Don't forget about that, because she had nothing to say on that. President Biden nor Kamala Harris never even mentioned Laken Riley's name. They didn't even mention these people's name. Let's see what she's going to say about that.
So if it wouldn't have happened, this is well before any negotiation.
But this is before they actually even started talking about having that bill that she claimed was supposed to be bipartisan. This happened before all of that.
This is well before Donald Trump got involved in the politics. This is a specific policy decision by your administration to release these men into the country. So what I'm saying to you, do you owe
Brett,
those families an apology?
Let me just say, first of all, those are tragic cases.
Okay.
There's no question about that. There is no question about that.
Are you going to apologize?
And I can't imagine the pain that...
Okay, we get it. See what I'm saying, Mo? No, are you going to apologize? Man, I would love to be one of these people that interview them.
the families of those victims have experienced for a loss that should not have occurred. So that is true. It is also true that if a border security had actually been passed 9 months ago, it would be 9 months that we would have had more border agents at the border, more support for the folks who are working around the clock trying to hold it all together.
Madam Vice.
This was before that bill was passed. Did she not hear him? It happened before that bill was passed. It just went through one ear and after another. And again, don't see my little young mentees. What was he asking her? Will you apologize for that? Notice how she got around that?
Vice President.
To ensure that no future harm would occur. And this election in 20 days will determine whether we have a president of the United States who actually cares more about fixing a problem, even if it is not to their political advantage in an election. Because,
ladies and gentlemen, remember, they caused the problem. They caused the problem. Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, them are the ones that opened up the dam to let the floodgate. Open the floodgates to let the flood come in. Remember that. What she's talking about fixing, they are the ones that caused it. Wow. That's why that notion, we're gonna build back better. You tore it down. There was nothing to build back better. It was already better. You tore it down and it got worse. And again, ladies and gentlemen, look how she's deflecting from apologizing. Oh yeah, she's gonna talk about that's a tragedy. And that shouldn't happen. Can you imagine the devastation? Are you going to apologize? Because y'all policies are the reason why Laken Riley are dead.
because there was a solution, Brett.
Madam Vice President, it was a policy decision in the early part of your administration. I will let one of the mothers talk about it. Take a listen.
Uh-oh.
Because of the Biden-Harris administration open border policies catch and release, they were enrolled in the Alternatives to Detention program. This meant that they were released into the United States. It was not even a full 3 weeks later that they would take my daughter, Jocelyn Nungari's life. I believe the Biden-Harris administration open border policies are responsible for the death of my daughter.
That's the early days. So do you owe them an apology is what I'm saying.
I will tell you that I am so sorry for her loss. I am so sorry for her loss. Sincerely.
She's sorry for her loss. I'm sorry for her loss. But do y'all understand what's going on here? Well, she did apologize to her. No, she said, I'm sorry for your loss. Not, I'm so sorry that this happened to your daughter. I take responsibility for the ridiculous policy that I put in place for this catch and release that allowed these people to get in here and they killed your daughter. I'm sorry for your loss.
But let's talk about
Deflect.
what is happening right now.
Deflect. I'm sorry for your loss, but let's talk. Look, just skip over that. Screw that. Yeah, whatever. Move on.
With an individual who does not want to participate in solutions.
Here we go. Make it about Trump again. It's Trump's fault. The daughter's death is not Trump's fault. This is your border policy fault. And here you are again going to try to make this about Trump.
Let's talk about that as well.
But do you want to answer
in all
her?
fairness, I told you, I feel awful for what she and her family have experienced.
During that time, you said,
I know I'm pausing. Get mad. I don't care. I feel awful for what they experienced. But I would take full responsibility for putting that in place that allowed that to happen. That's not being accountable. She's not apologizing. Y'all get what I'm saying? I don't know Lake and Riley's family personally. I don't know none of these people that lost their lives personally. I can easily, as an American, because I know those are my American brothers and sisters, patriotically, I can say I'm sorry for their loss. But I'm not responsible for it. Oh yeah, ultimately the killer is responsible for it, but ultimately what enabled the killer to be a killer? Their policy. This is on them.
repeatedly that the border was secure. When in your mind did it start becoming a crisis?
Let me tell you what $5 means to my campaign.
Yeah, we're gonna mute this too. We just want to move on to this, y'all. Let's go.
I think we've had a broken immigration system transcending, by the way, Donald Trump's administration even before. Let's all be honest about that. I have no
Transcending Donald Trump's administration even before. So, now you throwing shots at Barack Obama? Because Barack Obama had the largest deportation of illegal aliens, asylum seekers, those looking for utopia. He had the largest one. And by the way, he's the one that built the fences and the gates and the prison things y'all claim that Trump put those people in. Barack Obama built those and made those. Yeah. Go fact check that.
pride in saying that, let's all be honest about that. I have no pride in saying that this is a perfect immigration system. I've been clear, I think we all are, that it needs to be fixed. We need more. I was just down at the border talking with border agents.
Doing exactly what? You went there for a photo op. They said she was no longer there than like 20 to 30 minutes. She went there, walked, and when her and the guy was walking next to each other, they said, okay, look, y'all, I'm telling y'all what they do. She walks next to the Border Patrol person. He's going A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, and she's going A, B, C. They're just saying this, they're sending ABCs to each other to look like they're having a conversation for photo ops. She gets in her car, she leaves. That's it.
And they will tell you, and I'm sure I know you investigate and you are a serious journalist. They will tell you, we need more judges. We need to process those cases faster. We need the support for those cases that should be prosecuted. They need more resources, and Congress ultimately is the only place that's going to get fixed, Brett.
Well,
that's how this system works.
That's the premise of this question.
But
There were
that's how the
90
system
plus
works.
executive orders that were rescinded in the first days. Many of those were Trump border policies. I'm not going to stay here because there's other things to talk about, but you frequently talk to the Border Patrol Union for support of that bipartisan bill, and they did. They supported it. But they also just endorsed Donald Trump and said, you've been, quote, a failure with border security. Why do you think they said that?
I think they're frustrated, and I get it. They want support. They want support, and that's what that border security bill would have done. These guys down at the border, these men and women, they're working hard. They're working around the clock.
Let me make this clear. Again, look how she took the responsibility, the accountability off her and strategically made it. Look, I understand they frustrated. Look, I know. No. With you. They didn't endorse you. They're frustrated with you. And not only that, again, they said, yes, they agree. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, they agreed that they needed more help down there because there was so much flooding. Just stick with my analogy. The dam is open. All the water is flooding in. That water represents the asylum seekers, the immigrants, the illegals. That represents them flooding in. So yes, they agree we need more help down here. They didn't necessarily say we agree with the bill. They said we agree within that bill that we need more people down there. But again, that bill consisted of more than it being just about the border and the help at the border. There were other things that were included in that bill that had nothing to do with the border.
I get it.
No, you don't.
There's a lot of people that look back at what you said in 2019 when you first ran for president. And there have been changes, and you've talked about some of them. When it comes to immigration, you supported allowing immigrants in the country illegally to apply for driver's license, to qualify for free tuition at universities, to be enrolled in free health care. Do you still support those things?
Listen, that was 5 years ago, and I'm very clear that I will follow the law. I have made that statement over and over again, and as Vice President of the United States, that's exactly what I've done, not to mention before.
She
didn't answer the question. Do you support that?
If that's the case, you chose a running mate, Tim Walz, governor of Minnesota, who signed those very things into state law. So do you support that?
We are very clear, and I am very clear, as is Tim Walz, that we must support and enforce federal law, and that is exactly what we will do.
So decriminalizing border crossings, like you said in 2019.
I do not believe in decriminalizing border crossings, and I've not done that as vice president. I will not do that as president.
So these are evolutions that you've had.
But let's be very clear. I'm the only person who's running for president who has prosecuted transnational criminal organizations, from the Sinaloa cartel to the Guadalajara cartel to people who have trafficked in guns, drugs, and human beings. I have spent a significant part of my career going after people who present a threat to the safety of the American people and cross our border with the intent of doing us harm and cross our border illegally. And I will do that work as vice president.
Nonsense. Ladies and gentlemen, you just heard a bunch of bull crap right there. Their policies right now are the reason why these people are flooding into this country as we speak. She talks about how she personally prosecuted some people that were doing drug trafficking, all this stuff like that. But guess what? Don't believe me. Go and look up what President Trump put together. It's like a special ops force team that he put together to specifically focus on child sex trafficking, human sex trafficking, human trafficking, child trafficking. He put together like the biggest ops team to do that, and they've been doing a phenomenal job, but the news keeps that stuff under the radar. Florida reports on it all the time. Other states have too. We don't know it because they don't make that an issue. They show like judges and teachers and cops, Disney workers, man, all kinds of walks of life. Some police officers are even involved in human trafficking. And you guys are not seeing it because the news is not making, mainstream media is not making that an issue. And Trump is the one to put that together. So when she say she's the only one that put more people in because she's personally prosecuted them, but Trump himself is, I guarantee you, he's done probably more and put more people behind bars in 1 year with that coalition that he formed, that team of special ops people that specifically focuses on child trafficking, human trafficking, sex trafficking. He put probably more people in prison in 1 year than she has in her whole career. Don't believe me? Go and look it up, ladies and gentlemen. To summarize this, it makes no sense for you to cause the problem and then say you're going to fix it. I keep telling you guys that Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, them are the equivalents of you being in an abusive relationship. You're getting beat up, punched around, smacked around, black eye, bloody lip, teeth missing, fractured ribs, punctured lungs. And then the person tells you, I promise you I'm going to make it better if you would marry me. That's the equivalence of them. They don't even want to admit to the problem. Then they make it seem like you are the problem. Trump, no, you guys are the one to put these policies in place. This is the reason why America is suffering like it is right now. And now you saying that if they vote for you, you're going to fix it. And you can't even tell us how you're going to fix it. More of this is going to come up as I get different clips like this, and I'll discuss it this way if y'all want me to do it this way. Otherwise, I'll do it my typical way of talking a little bit, let the video play in its entirety, then I'll analyze it afterwards. But I was requested to do it this way, all right? Let me know what y'all think by putting it in the comments below after this video. And don't forget, the next video I will do in chronological order will be up here. Things that I do on the channel as a variety that you may not know that I do will be here. I am Ty Smith, Modern Renaissance Man, hoping and praying that every last one of you have food, shelter, and clothing. And most of all, I pray every last one of you guys in great health, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. God bless you all through Jesus.